I know y'all are all excited and interested to hear what is the deal with Wendi Adelson. Donna's gone. She's going to spend the rest of her life or whatever's left of her life in prison. Now everyone has their sights set on Wendi Adelson, not only here on YouTube, not only out with people who have been following this story, who live close by or in the area, but possibly in the DA's office. We're going to look at some information surrounding everything that's been going on leading up to Wendi Adelson possibly being indicted. And I've got a lot to show you guys here. So shout out to Surviving the Survivor over on X. They posted this. We've got a lot of updates here when it comes to prisoners being transported in and out of the area, because that's going to be important to a possibility of a grand jury indicting Wendi Adelson. What do they say? STS has confirmed that Katie McBanois, I always say her name wrong, McBanois, has been transferred back to Leon County Jail in Tallahassee. Why? Why would that be the case? Could it have something to do with Wendi? Well, we've got more information there, because look at this, guys. Shout out to Kathy for posting this. Kathy Russin from Law and Crime. What does she say? Florida doc still shows Katie is at the state prison in Lowell as of yesterday. We'll see if there's any updates. We see she's in Lowell, but it's been confirmed through other sources that she's been moved. Not only has Katie been moved, but there's been others that have been moved as well. We're going to get into that here in a second. I also wanted to read this statement before we get into looking at some of the testimony or looking at some of this video in the past from Wendi and also from Jeff. There's a statement released by Danny's family. And what do they have to say here? They said, new statement from the Markel family. The statement of Mr. Snyder, Matt Benjamin, on behalf of the Markel family. What did they say? Today, a jury found Donna Adelson guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy, and solicitation for murder. It has been more than 11 years since Danny was brutally murdered in cold blood, and it has taken a tremendous effort to get to this point. We are grateful to the state attorney, Jack Campbell, who has demonstrated extraordinary focus and leadership, and we are forever indebted to prosecutors Georgia Cappleman and Sarah Catherine, she's got two last names, and Sarah Catherine Duggan, who have been the public face of the team fighting hard for justice so many years, to Helen Potluck for guiding us so kindly through the process, and to the entire team at the Leon County State Attorney's Office. To the law enforcement, including Pat Sanford, Craig Isom, Jason Newland, Chris Corbett, and so many others, thank you for your dedication and commitment to the truth. They need to thank Jeff too. We're also appreciative of the Honorable Stephen Everett, one of our new favorite judges here, for his leadership and administration to the trial with efficiency and respect for the law, and the jury for their attention, commitment, and thoughtful deliberation. We are so appreciative of the warm embrace and steadfast support that Tallahassee community has given our family as they stood with us through this quest for justice. We are also grateful for the national and international support through the media, podcasters, and online community, especially Justice for Dan, that have helped keep Dan's memory alive and helped us in our pursuit of justice. While nothing will ever repair the hole torn in our hearts when Danny was stolen from us, we hope the verdict opens a new door to communication with Danny's children and a renewal of the connection to the Markel family. Thank you to the friends and family for continued support, encouragement, and all those near and far who joined our family in seeking justice for Dan and in keeping his memory alive with such dedication. With deepest gratitude, the Markel family. Now, yeah, I don't know these people's names. Shout out to Ms. Dugan. There was another update here too. I got to go back and find it for y'all, because there was some information saying that Sig and Mr. Garcia were actually moved as well. And again, shout out to STS for posting this. I got to find it here real quick, because they're saying that a couple other prisoners could be moved. Now, what is the thinking behind there being an issue with these prisoners being moved? Well, there's a couple of things. One, if they're moved, they could be moved to testify. They could be moved to be heard for something else. They could be moved for safety reasons. But if a grand jury is attempting to indict Wendi Adelson, then they would need to hear from her, right? If Katie's being moved, it's most likely has something to do with this case. So I'm trying to see, they might have removed this since we started, but I wanted to go back to another instance too and look at some of the things Wendi said leading up to the first trials and during her talking to the police. Check this out. Shout out to Jay over on X had this to say. When Wendi Adelson's computer information was downloaded and revealed she was searching Dan Markel's girlfriend, Amy Adler, the sister of designer Jonathan Adler, and that she was searching teacher student. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading that out loud. This showed me she was jealous of Amy, and she definitely did not erase her electronics as well as she thought she did. Check it out.
I went through the downloaded information on Wendi Adelson's desktop computer that had been processed by TPD technical support members. Possible matters of interest were numerous Google Chrome keyword searches that Wendi had conducted on the victim's new girlfriend, Amy Adler, Amy's ex-husband, and Amy's brother. Wendi had also performed searches on several porn sites to include teacher-student porn. The more I watched Wendi Adelson's police interview, the more I noticed how jealous Wendi Adelson was of Amy Adler. Let's get into it.
I can't believe this is happening.
I know. And he was a professor at the law school, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And your divorce has been 2 years, or the total separation, I'm assuming?
Total separation's been 2 years. Our divorce was finalized last summer around this time.
Okay.
He wouldn't do this to himself. He has a girlfriend now.
You know his girlfriend?
I met her once in the last couple of weeks. She was visiting. She lives in New York.
So fake, man.
Okay. Do you know anything about her?
I know some things about her.
She knows some things about her. It's a little more than some things. Let's get into all the things she knows about Amy Adler.
She's also a law professor. I know she's recently divorced and she has a son. I don't know if her divorce is final, but I think recently divorced.
Where's she a law professor at?
At NYU. And they seemed very happy, and I mean, I think that was a really good thing in his life. He seemed really happy about it.
She's 50?
Yeah. She doesn't look 50. She's very beautiful. But she is, not that you can't be beautiful at 50, but she looks really young. She's very pretty and accomplished. And
You know her date of birth?
Yikes.
I only know that she is 50. I don't, because I was looking her up one time, feeling.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Detective Isom is like, I get it. You're stalking her. Oh, okay. Haha. There's another point I want to make here. Wendi had also performed keyword searches on several porn sites to include teacher/student porn. So that porn part is interesting to me because you guys know as well as I do that there's no way that Wendi Adelson would want it out there that she was searching porn, right? So what does that lead me to believe? She did not erase her devices as well as she thought she did.
Dang, there it is. We got more about Wendi, and we're going to get into this full interview / interrogation of Jeff Lacasse, because some of y'all have seen this, and if you haven't watched the whole thing, a lot of what Jeff says is important and is going to be key if Wendi Adelson is going to stand on trial one day. Listen to what he had to say here. And again, shout out to Jay over on X. Y'all make sure you go check him out. So he says, weird that Wendi Adelson canceled the trip with Jeff Lacasse and made sure she had to be back in Tallahassee the weekend that Dan Markel was murdered. Even suggested a staycation there, even though she hated it. But sure, she didn't know anything about the murder.
That day meant something to me before Danny was shot. Like,
we're going to listen to this full interview.
Week. I don't know what it is, but there's something weird about that week. It's just uncanny to think back on it now. Because I don't know what's going on, but something's going to happen. Like, it feels like there's drum beats. It feels like we're moving towards something. It's really, really strange. I don't know what's going on. And one of the strange things that happened was we had a trip to California scheduled to see my parents the week that Danny was killed. And in early June, she rescheduled that trip. And I said, what's the problem with the trip? She says, well, I'm worried we'll get stuck in an airport and we won't be back on Friday. I have to pick up the kids from school. And I said, but we're coming back Thursday night. It's not winter. We're not going. Winter in the winter, I'd understand. There's no way we're going to get. We can rent a car. We have friends that could babysit. This is strange. I said, fine, cancel the trip.
Poor Jeff, for real.
And that was going to be in early June?
the trip was going to be the week that Danny was killed.
Oh, okay. That was the trip?
11th to 19th was supposed to be the trip.
Dang.
So we had a trip planned, and she was real strange about the fact that we had to reschedule this trip. It just didn't make sense. And I even said, if you just don't want to go because you don't feel comfortable right now, just tell me. That's cool. She goes, no, I have to pick up the kids from school that day. I just have to. I don't want to do anything to stop that. You know. And she said, I'll miss the kids at that point. I said, okay. A couple of days later, I say, well, she said, but I want to spend that time with you. I was leaving for Tennessee on Friday. And she said, I want to spend that Monday through Thursday with you. I said, great. You want to go to St. Augustine? She loves the beach. She hates Tallahassee. This, again, is just very strange and suspicious to me. Wendi Adelson tells me, what I want to do is a staycation. I want to stay home in Tallahassee. I said, you want to stay in Tallahassee the hottest week of the year? She goes, yeah, we'll go to Tom Brown Park, we'll do this. I said, you hate it here. I'm offering to take you away. Why wouldn't you? It's just really strange at the time. I remember saying to my friends, like, Wendi wants people laugh. I said, Wendi says she wants to stay in Tallahassee. Like, she leaves town. Sure, you know, every chance she gets, she leaves town. Why would she want to stay? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. I finally managed to convince her to do a trip to St. Augustine, but we had to schedule it so that we were back basically by the time of the shooting. So that was just strange. It was peculiar at the time. When we scheduled that trip to St. Augustine, I was sitting her, she has her calendar open. You can't just schedule everything with her. That's just how she was. There was just, at the time, I remember sitting in her office trying to schedule this, and there was this weirdness about that weekend. We're scheduling other things, no problem, but that weekend, she just was intent on. That day meant something to me before Danny was shot. Like, there's something weird about that week. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
But there's something weird about that week.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of weird about that week. Again, Jeff, I have a feeling we're going to see Jeff Lacasse coming up soon. And some of you may not know this. Jeff Lacasse, as mentioned in the chat by Vintage, yes, he has a memory to where he can remember exact specific details about things that have happened in the past. I can't remember. Someone typed in the chat and told me what it was called. I can't remember the name of it right now, but he has complete recall of events that happened. So he can remember every single thing that happened. Something stuck in his mind about what Wendi was doing. Something stuck in his mind about the TV being broken, about her not wanting to leave. It's very strange. And we're going to see a lot of Jeff, I think, coming up. What do you all think in the comments in the chat? Is Wendi going to be indicted soon? Is a grand jury currently listening and talking about Wendi Adelson being indicted? Let me know what y'all think.